is here. And in studio with us today is the Executive Secretary of the Rice County Fair Board, John Dvorak. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Gordy.
I'll bet you're pretty excited, huh?
I'm excited, being torn at every which way but loose, and but you know what? It's my favorite time of the year, and it's to set up for the fair. It's like magic happens, Gordy. It seems like somebody comes and sprinkles some magic dust in the ground, and all of a sudden up appears a carnival and vendors and games, and this is, to me, as growing up and now, to me this is better than Christmas.
It really is.
It
Christmas
is.
in July, I guess you could say.
That's right. That's right.
And remember, it is free.
It is free. It is free. All the exhibits to look through is free. We have free entertainment. You drive in with a car, it's $5 to park your car, and everything after that is free except for the grandstand shows.
So you can get a lot of terrific entertainment. Obviously, you have to probably buy some food.
Buy some food, buy some rides if you want to go on rides. We got different ride packages. We got a great carnival that comes to the Rice County Fair, Gold Star Amusement. I mean, I don't know that I can work with a better group of individuals that I work with Gold Star, because they are top notch, and they really are. And they have different packages every day. They have different armband packages. We have the Passport for Fun ticket that you can still go out and buy, and that's unlimited rides for $45. Unlimited rides Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now you tell me where you can get a deal like that.
And it's been $45 for a while.
It has been, and it's been $45. We decided to keep it at $45, and hopefully we can keep it there. But just a great way to come in and enjoy the fair, especially if you love riding rides. And I tell you, they've got some neat rides. It's fun to watch because, I've said this before, they've come in from several different places. So I pulled into the fairgrounds this morning, and there was stuff trickling. I was in the fairgrounds till about 5:36 last night, and so I left for home, and there was a few trucks that start trickling in, and I get there this morning, and it's like, wow, there's trucks all over the place, semis of this and semis of that, and this ride and that ride, and the game shows, and it just, to me, it's a neat time of the year.
And I think, this is my own opinion, and I think a lot of people share this opinion. A couple of years ago, when you moved little kids' rides to the East End, that was a brilliant move.
It was, and it made things so much nicer. We got a lot of positive feedback from that. The moms, they just enjoy it because, they can just leave the kids roam around, and they don't have to be so concerned about it. They, competing with the older people, and it just works out so much better, and it's like their own little area. It's really neat. I think it's was a great idea, and I'm glad we came up with it, and it's a lot of fun. And I kind of sit and look out my window. That's where my office is, on the East End, and what a joy to sit there, and there's nothing better than to smile at a kid's face when he's going on that ride.
Yeah, and you see the smile on their faces. They're enjoying themselves, and that's what the fair is all about.
That's right. It's come on out and have a good time. Forget about that day's stress, and just let yourself go and have a great time at the fair.
And there's something for people of all ages.
There is. We try to do that. We try to do young and old. They can walk through the exhibit buildings. One of the things I'm going to try doing this year and getting set up to do, I'm going to try to offer a shuttle service from the parking lot through the fair grounds, drop them off in front of the barns or at the 4-H center, and then hit the other parking lot, and then slowly go back and forth with the golf cart, and we'll see how that works and how that develops. But just the way, if you're having problems walking, or it's a rough day, we need to ride back to your car, it's a service that we're hoping that we can help you out with free of charge.
By the way, today and all this week, by the way, AM Minnesota brought to you courtesy of Rice County Mutual here in Faribault and IBEW Local Union 110. I know John's got a couple of people he wants to plug to during the show. We'll do that in our next segment. We're going to talk about the smoking policy on the fairgrounds. There's a special designated area that we'll touch on. and we've got a lot of other things to cover too. Appreciate John stopping in. Northwood, Iowa.
You must have fantastic eyesight to be able to read that high up in the air.
Well, we're not doing that, obviously. Again, our show today is a service of IBEW Local Union 110, Rice County Mutual at Faribault. We'll continue our conversation with John in a moment.
Lighting up our communities for over 100 years, the electricians and contractors of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers provide safe, innovative, energy-saving solutions for all your electrical projects. Insist on the IBEW for your next electrical project, and they will provide quality, value, and peace of mind. Assured safety and performance, that's the IBEW's power of professionalism. As integral members of the communities they work hard to build, IBEW professionals are also committed to the strengthening of neighborhoods in which they work and live. Contact IBEW today.
Look for you online at ibewpros.org.
Again, Rice County Mutual also bringing you our AM Minnesota shows all this week from the Rice County Fair. And I know you had some folks you wanted to thank for their participation in the fair too, John.
I did. You know, we've, you try to get all your sponsors and you try to get everything lined up. And, at the last minute you always get a couple sponsors. And so you miss their getting them onto the newspaper ads and talking about them previously on the radio show. But I just want to take hats off to our Northfield Community Retirement Center. Decided to sponsor Senior Citizens Day at the Rice County Fair, so I'm greatly thankful for their donation, and just so nice that we have a new sponsor like this that's able to do this donation, and we're very grateful that we were able to get them to donate for our Senior Citizens Day. So a big thank you out to them.
There were multiple candidates for the Senior of the Year this year?
I believe so, and Char Wetzel's taking care of that, and I know that they had a committee that they put together, and all the nominations I'm sure are in, and they're out there now trying to, and probably already have it figured out who that person is going to be. So I'm sure whoever they picked is going to be well worthy of being the Rice County Senior Citizen of the Year.
The same rules apply this year that have the last few years, right? You do not follow the state guidelines for the senior. Pat Rice was the senior for the state, but some of her friends filled out the paperwork for the state, right?
Exactly so, exactly so. And what the state wants is they want what you do after you retire.
Yeah.
And, I want to look at what this person's done throughout their life, because it's not just what you do after you retire. And we're thankful for what people do after they retire. And I know there's many people out there that have busy lifestyles and are not able to volunteer as much. But I don't want to rule out when somebody has spent their whole life donating time to a certain cause. They surely need to be recognized also.
Well, after a certain age, health is a primary factor in whether or not you can volunteer, let's be honest.
Exactly so. And some people are more fortunate than other people. And, to me, if you're able to volunteer, that's great. And, whenever you can volunteer, there's nobody that's going to judge you because you volunteered here, you volunteer there, because everybody that volunteers, deserves to be recognized. And that's why we try to offer the Senior Citizens Day for them. It's their day. And, some people like to volunteer and don't even like to be recognized. And so, hopefully by allowing them to come to the fair and enjoying this day at the fair, why not? That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot to cover. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to cover the whole thing.
Yeah, we got the week.
I don't know if I've ever asked you, and I'm going to guess that perusing the barns is probably your favorite area of the fair. You talked about the little kids' rides, and it's fun to see them, but
I do enjoy walking through the barns. Agriculture to me, I grew up on a farm, and we had a dairy farm, and then, when my children were growing up in 4-H, we had sheep, and so I don't know, dairy and sheep and livestock, kind of gets in your blood, and you pretty hard to get it out of your blood. And you're right, it's just great to be able to walk through the barns, and it just amazes me, being that I went through it, the time and the effort that individuals put into these animals to get them ready to show at the fair, to be at their top, and they bring their best, they showcase their best. To me, that's just out of this world. I think there's no better activity that you can go watch than this at the fair.
the kids learn a lot doing this. You learned a lot when you were a kid.
Exactly so. I learned a lot. You learn respect for your animal. You treat your animal right, and what better way? And another thing that it is you do it as a family, and we always did it as a family, and you know, that was some of the fondest memories I had of growing up. And then as my children were growing up, you know, the time we spent with the sheep, getting rid of the sheep, washing the sheep, my oldest son wanting to pick on everybody and turns the hose on everybody. You know, those are precious moments that you know will go with you for a long time. And it's funny because, you know, even we're at a family gathering, you know, it doesn't fail. Somebody will bring up, well, you remember this or you remember that, and those are the times that we remember the most.
Yeah. One of the Queen contestants I visited with during the dinner last week at Basher's, Kathy was nice enough to allow me to come, and it's really neat to visit with some of the girls and they feel more comfortable with you on the day of the pageant, you know. So I was visiting with one of the girls who used to show animals in 4-H, and she said she hated her animal at first, but by the end of you're getting rung up, aren't you? By the end of the fair run, she was in love with her animal, and you know, that's just how it goes.
And I think that's probably true with many people. You know, we would always have an animal that didn't want to cooperate and
Yeah.
would plant its four hooves into the ground, and you literally had to start pulling it around, and you know, you managed it and you trained it, and that animal, you know, it wasn't because the animal was stubborn, it was because the animal really didn't know you, and it was not that it was afraid of you, but you were new to them, and so until that animal got your respect, and that's when, you know, things started to change. And so, you know, that is a good way of putting it. You know, a lot of people, you know, it's like, why am I doing this? And you know, as time goes on, the two of you kind of develop a bond, and it's really something that you know, you can always tell that when there's an animal that comes into the ring, that individual spent a lot of time preparing with it and getting it ready to show.
And it's a life lesson, John. There's all aspects of every job that we just hate, but you have to do, right?
Exactly so.
And so this is something that you learn at a young age.
Exactly
you
so.
gotta stick with it. Even if you don't like it, you got to stick with it.
You
and
know,
guess what? In the end, you probably like it.
Exactly so. And you know, it's the end result is the most fun part, but it's the work that goes up to it that is the meaningful part.
John Dvorak is the executive. Do you have an important call there? I can take a break if you need.
No, go ahead. We can.
He's the
we'll
executive secretary of the Rice County Fair. I did want to touch on, because it is new this year, not a big difference on the smoking policy, but there is a designated area.
That's right. And you know, years up to in past coming up to this, you know, we kind of were taking a active approach towards smoking. You know, obviously we didn't allow it in the 4-H building or the exhibit buildings or the barns. And then we curtailed it on the grandstand. And so this year, as we all know, the county commissioners, they passed a no smoking ordinance that went countywide, but they left fair boards exempt of that, and we were able to make up our own decision how we wanted to do that. And so what the board decided to do, with the help of Tashvi Ackmanshaw from the county health department, she was a big help to us, and we got this passed in a policy in place. But we decided that we were going to have the whole fairgrounds non-smoking, but we were going to designate certain areas where people could smoke. So all of the parking lots, people are able to smoke next to their car. The parking lots on the fairgrounds would be smoking allowed. For the grandstand individuals, now there will be no smoking allowed in the grandstand, but we will have designated areas on both sides of the grandstand where people can go and smoke and still be able to watch the performance, what's going on in the grandstand. And then the beer gardens also has a designated area where they're going to be allowed to smoke. They'll be able to exit out of the north side of the beer garden onto a green area, grassy area, and they'll be able to go out there and smoke. And then our infield, we kept that where people are allowed to smoke, the infield of the grandstand.
So it's like there are plenty of areas then.
There's plenty of areas, and you know, I understand that some people have a need for smoke, but I want them also to understand that there's other people out there that don't appreciate the smoke being around them. So, you know, this is the best of both worlds. I think is the best compromise we could come up with, and there still is an area for where individuals, if they want to have a cigarette, can go out and have a cigarette. And so I think, you know, we accommodated both sides of the issue.
Anything new this year at the fair?
I've got some new vendors that are at the fair this year. I've got food vendors. I've got a few new ones. I've got a individual that sells pretzels, the big pretzels. He was a late individual, and decided to bring him in. I've got he's called the Nutty Minnesotan. He's got a candy type stand that he has candy and nuts that he's going to be selling. Candy mixed with nuts, and the different kinds of nuts that he's going to be selling. And I've got an individual coming back that's going to be selling fruit at the fair. I've never had fruit like this at the fair. And what he's going to do is actually cut up a pineapple or a watermelon or cantaloupe, and he's going to be selling that to individuals. And plus, he makes a fruit drink out of the out of the fruit. You know, he makes a great pineapple drink and a great watermelon drink, and it's all natural. There's no sugar added. So I'm kind of excited for him to come back. He hasn't given me signed the dotted line, but he's assured me he's going to be at the fair, so I'm hoping that he's coming back to the fair.
That'll be very popular. You know, the warm forecasts for later in the week, but that'll be very popular.
I think so, and it'll be healthy, and so hopefully, you know, he has a good success and people enjoy it.
As I said earlier today, there are air-conditioned facilities on the fairgrounds if it gets extremely hot, and keep yourself hydrated, and we should be able to handle it. We're Minnesotans.
That's right, and you know what? We've had hot summers in the past, and we've had hot fairs in the past, and we're here to talk about it, and we'll be here to talk about it next year if it's hot. And I keep thinking, I'm thinking positive, and I'm thinking that we're not going to have that hot weather. That's what I keep telling myself, and maybe I'm wrong about it, but you know, you have to think positive. And you know, we don't shut down. I mean, yeah, it's going to be hot, but you know, we'll have plenty of booths out there that'll be selling water. You know, if it gets extremely hot, you know, we'll make a decision as a fair board, you know, possibly passing out some water. But, you know, we'll deal with it the best we can. We'll try to make it as comfortable for people as we can, and we just go on.
And for the animals, too.
And for the animals, for sure. And you know what? We'll work real close with the vet. I'll assure everybody that it'll be a decision that we'll make with the vet on whether or not we release the animals, if we need to release them. But you have to remember, too, is, you know, if you release that animal in the midst of this hot summer day, sometimes that's worse for them, and so we'll make that decision and probably send them home at night versus in the middle of the afternoon.
You know, when I look at the entertainment that you have on the Cannon Valley and the Bruce Sounder Memorial Midway stage, John, it marvels me. I don't know where you find all these terrific acts, but I heard people at the Lakers game yesterday talking about how they're looking so forward to seeing the white sidewalls again.
Yeah, what a great group to keep bringing back. You know, I don't know how, I'll have to check and see how far back it goes that we first hired them. I know, God, I've been there for a long time now, and I know it's got to be at least 10 years that they've come back, and it's probably even more than that. But what a great band, you know, and people are so excited that they're coming back. They always are. You know, people will be out there in the afternoon with their lawn chair, claiming their spot, and it's just a great way to come out and reminisce of what it was like back in our younger days.
Yeah, well,
because the white sidewalls, I tell you, I give these guys a lot of credit. I mean, to be able to belt out them songs like they're singing, just like they did, you know, 20, 30 years ago when they were really a hit. Not that they're not a hit now, but that's when they were most popular.
Sure.
You know, man, I tell you, God must have given them a special set of lungs.
But all generations, John, seem to like that music.
Exactly so. Isn't that something that, you know, that has such a popular following, and young and old both come there and enjoy it.
So you got to take in some of the free entertainment on the two stages.
Exactly so. You know, we have the Selner stage has our main musical entertainers that come in, the musicians that come in. You know, we got the White Sidewalls, like we said. We've got Jivin' Ivan and the Kings of Swing that are coming in. Brad Boyce, the Elvis impersonator, is coming, and Sherwin Linton. He's surely a great entertainer. You know, rounding up the entertainment on Saturday with him. The Cannon stage, you know, we save that. You know, I've got the Minnesota Zoo coming in. They'll be on the Cannon stage on Saturday afternoon. There's various contests that will be out through the fair on the afternoon. We have Tooey the Juggler. We have Brodini the magician coming in. You know, they'll be performing on that stage. Penny Anderson in her Electric Fusion. She's a great entertainer, DJ, and she's going to be performing there. We'll have a karaoke contest that'll be on that stage. So that type of stage on the Cannon stage, you know, it's underneath the carport, so you get out of the sun, and you know, just come on down there. You can go on our website, ricecountyfair.net. That will have all of the entertainment that we have throughout there, you know, in the premium book, and the different tabs that you can go on to find out whatever you want to find out about the fair. So that's where it's advertised. We have signs posted on the different times that the activities are going to be going on the different stages. So, and by all means, if you can't find an answer to something, don't hesitate to call my office or stop in the office, because we welcome you to come in and, you know, tell us, you know, what you like about the fair, what you don't like about the fair, and what you'd like to see. So stop in my office, and if I got time, I'd love to chat with you.
Wednesday's grandstand show, the Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands.
Just a $5 cover charge.
$5 cover charge, and so we hope, you know, we get a number of bands to come in. We still have some openings, so if you got a band that you'd like to get off the ground, or you want to come in and compete, you know, look me up, and we'd love to have you come down and play at the fair.
Yeah, the neat thing is that's all local, you know, all Rice County local entertainment. 6:30 in the evening, although I'm sure you let bands from Goodhue County and Dakota County, whoever.
I tell you, you know, if you got a band and you want to come and participate, and we got room for you, you know, and you want to travel to our fair, we'll gladly have you. So it's just, you know, we spread it out. It's not just from Rice County, but, you know, the surrounding areas. And if you're out in the cities and you want to come, or you're out in Rochester or wherever, you know, and I don't want to start naming towns so I don't get in trouble, but, you know, give us a call if we have an opening. We'd love to have you.
13 and under, of course, get in for free for that event.
Exactly.
Enduro Auto Races is Thursday night at 6. Adults $15, children age 6 to 11 $5, 5 and under free.
Exactly. Be a lot of fun.
Friday it's professional bull riding.
Yes.
7 in the evening. Adults are $15, children age 6 to 11 $5, 5 and under free. There's a family pack, it says here, 2 adults, 4 children for $40. Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah, give a little bit of break. And then also Friday is Kids Day, so if you come and participate in the Kids Day activities, you're going to be given a free ticket for the kids to come back to the bull riding, but you're going to have to be accompanied by an adult. So
every day's Kids Day at the fair. Come on, John.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, you know, during the intermission of the bull riding event, you know, that's where we're going to have our Kids Day giveaway, where we got some real neat prizes to give away at the intermission of the bull riding.
Saturday, it's the NTPA truck and tractor pull. Adults are $15. This is 7 o'clock Saturday night. Children 6 to 11 $5, and 5 and under free.
I believe that starts at 6:30. That might have been a misprint there.
All right, that's fine.
So the truck pull will start at 6:30. It'll be a great show. You know, we've got the modified tractors, the 4-wheel drives, and we also got the semi-class coming this year again too. So just some great entertaining, you know, to watch them tractors roar down the track to see how far they can pull that weight. And when some of them start pulling, I'm afraid they're going to end up in Near-Strand.
Well, there you go. Kids Power Wheels are at 4 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Yes.
4:30 is the Demolition Derby. Adults $15, children 6 to 11 $5, 5 and under free.
Yes. And that's a time change. Usually our Demolition Derby in the past has started at 6:30, and we just decided to move it up. That way, kind of gives the people coming to the grandstand one last chance either to go through the midway, and it starts at a little bit earlier in the afternoon, where it ends their evening just that much sooner. And also, I'm hoping that some of the exhibitors, you know, will wait and load up their exhibits or their animals after the Demolition Derby, rather than, you know, the Demolition Derby always pretty much started when everything was released. So this way, I'm hoping that, you know, the Demolition Derby, yes, will be going on when that release time is, but maybe they'll give some people the chance to say, you know what, let's go to Demolition Derby, and then we'll take everything home.
Some of the free entertainment includes the Mitchell Marinettes, been there many years, Tui the Juggler, Brodini Family Comedy Magic Show, lots of terrific acts.
Lots of terrific acts, and then, you know, in the afternoons on the Selner stage on Wednesday, we have Lyndon Peterson, the one-man band, coming back. On Thursday, I have Herb Selner. He's a one-man band. I got the Jolly Peas, following him in the afternoon. On Friday, it's our check day with our the New Prague Czech Singers, the Damazi Dancer, and the New Prague Concertina Club. On Saturday afternoon, I have the Fleming Fold coming back, and then I have the Zachary Z Band coming in the afternoon, and on Sunday afternoon we have our famous talent contest.
That's right. It begins at noon on Sunday, the Rice County Fair Amateur Talent Contest. Noon on Sunday. So, you have a neat website too. People can see all this stuff on your website.
I hope so, and I hope that it's the information's there for everybody to find, and I hope they have an easy time navigating through it. And like I said, if you have a problem, don't hesitate to call, because we'd love to help you out.
The RiceCountyFair.net. This fair cannot be pulled off with all the sponsors that you do have for the fair, right, John?
That's right. We have a tremendous amount of sponsorship that comes to the fair. I have them all posted on my office. I have a board of all the sponsors. Come by and see who all goes beyond the fair and beyond and beyond to help to have that fair on. We're going to post all of the sponsors on our website as soon as we can get that compiled and put together. And without the sponsors, surely big and small, you know, everything helps. And I thank everybody that sponsors the fair. You know, a big thank you to you for helping put this great county fair together.
If you didn't have those sponsors, you definitely have to charge to get into the fair. So.
That's right. And so, you know, like I said, I can't say enough of thank you and appreciate all that these sponsors do.
Well, we've been talking about some of the other contests on our newscast, and we'll continue to do that. I knew we weren't getting every single thing on the fair, but thanks, John, for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
That's your AM Minnesota show today. Again, a service of IBEW Local Union 110, Rice County Mutual of Faribault. Hope to see you at the fair. You're in tune to KDHL AM Faribault, Minnesota.